Hey, what's up? Welcome to Chaotic Exposure, episode 3. And it's just gonna be me. I fired everyone. No, I'm kidding. But let's start with Neil. Nah, never mind. He likes candy corn. So let's start with whiskey.
Rude.
It's over,
Whiskers.
Neil. Let's go. Okay, so if you guys have your shots, put
Oh,
that shit away.
oh
He's showing
no.
you his candy corn. Nasty. Hope you choke on it.
Oh,
All right, we're gonna start with the shot again.
You sound like you did. Okay, are you ready for a shot?
Let's go.
See, let's go.
Oh man,
Ooh,
way too much. I
oh.
did too much.
that was a big shot.
I'm gonna die.
For the record, both the guys had whiskey in glasses, not shot glasses.
Yeah, that was
So
way too
that was
much.
that was probably a deep burn.
That was a two for.
Ooh. Oh man, I've been drinking so much Fireball that I haven't had regular whiskey in a while. You
It's a
like
lot of
feel it
sugar.
back in your jaw. Yeah.
And it feels good to be back recording.
Right? I feel like the
Nice.
last 2 weeks have been so off.
Yeah.
Like I've been so off in every way possible that I really needed today.
Yeah. I mean, even like in the DMs, like I was off. I think everybody was off at different times, and we just haven't even
Mhm.
chatted like we normally do.
I
It's been
know.
weird. It's been off, and I've
That
missed
daylight
this.
savings messes up everyone.
Oh, I know. And then I've been like, my sleeping has been so bad. It's the damn Misfits. I end up in Discord in the middle of the night, and then I get yelled at for being in there, and then I get mad that I'm yelled at. But then it hit me like 2 nights ago. I was just like, spiraling. I needed sleep so bad, and I ended up sleeping most of yesterday. Went to bed at like 7 last night and woke up at like 6:30 this morning.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, they were right. I really did need sleep.
Yeah.
Tired whiskey's no joke. She's worse than drunk whiskey.
Yeah.
So 2 weeks ago, I think it was 2 weeks now, Bearded opens up a space, which shout out to Bearded
Good
because
time.
the guy does spaces all the time now. And he does really good with like kind of not shilling, but like just kind of telling people about the Misfits. And then like one night, it was like 2 a.m. and Dragon and I are in there, and he was talking about our podcast. And I thought that was so sweet. And he's like trying to get me to come up and talk. And I'm like, no, it's like 2 in the morning. Somebody was up there and offered me Fireball if I would come up and talk. And I'm like, oh shit, this I if you're gonna have me come up and speak now, you have to like reward me in Fireball. That's the new thing now. So I didn't go up. Dragon goes up, and he did awesome. He did so good talking about our podcast and how we're doing it and this and that. And so it goes from that to they change the subject and they kind of get back into crypto. It gets super quiet. Dragon unmutes and
Oh no. Oh no.
dead serious goes, whiskey, send nudes. And it got completely quiet. And I'm like dying laughing. I'm like, he did not just say that in a Twitter space. And there was enough people in there to where I knew that they did not realize why he said it. And I'm thinking, all these people are sitting here going, holy shit, that guy just asked Whiskey for nude pictures. But they don't realize that that's how he ends the podcast every week. So I'm just cracking up laughing. And then Bearded was laughing. I'm like, well, Bearded gets it. But like
Yeah.
all those people in there are like, oh my God.
Yeah,
You
right
know,
after I said that, I was like, "Oh no!" And then I see like Momo down there, which she's a
It
big
was
safe
so
moon
funny.
person. I'm like, "Oh no, what have I done?"
See, that's why you have to listen to the podcast because then we don't sound crazy.
yep, yep. Shout out. I love seeing all the support that's coming in too, man. Like we've gotten some great feedback. Which the magic of this thing I think is just the chaoticness of it. It's not like a lot of like it's not I won't say any names, but there's like people out there that will like talk about a token that's being launched and they'll like promote it, right? And they'll have a YouTube video. I think of several, but this is nothing like any of that. And I just love hearing people are enjoying it. And I just gotta say this too, Whiskey, with what you were saying. This bearded and in my entire tenure in the space, it's a gross and dumb way to say it. I never want to say that again. But he has always just been there, and he's always, even before he would talk in spaces, he would always just make sure to like comment on my tweets, share my spaces, all the different things that I would do. He was just always there supporting, and I just don't make many people like Bearded. Shout out to Bearded.
I don't think we have explained who Bearded is. Have we?
Oh no,
No.
Whiskey, you should.
So
Bearded is like one of a kind. Like you only meet one bearded in your life.
Yeah.
And I will agree because it was like last fall that I started really using my Twitter and then getting into crypto and stuff. And Bearded was like always there. He just was always supportive. He was in any space that I hosted. Like you said, Neil, he's just really good about doing that.
Yeah.
And he is this, I don't know how to explain Bearded.
You know what else he is? Why you think about that? He's also a Packers fan. So go Pack, go.
Okay.
Let's
Well, I
go.
wouldn't have gone with that, so I'm glad you did. But he plays, we call it frisbee, but he will hate us for calling it that. He actually gets irate if we call it that. But it's disc golf, which I've never played. But he's super passionate about his disc golf and his Packers.
Oh yeah.
Actually lost his shit with us on Discord because we changed his name to Bingles Lover or whatever it was. I will not make that mistake again. Bearded is like, if you're on his good side, he will absolutely have your back. Like
Go to war.
literally, yeah. I mean, he will sit in spaces and be like, "Don't fuck with Whiskers." I'm like, okay, no one's messing with me. You're good. It's okay.
Yeah.
But if you're on his like shit list, look out. I mean, you're in trouble. So I absolutely love Bearded. He like the Misfits would not be the same. And then when he sits in spaces and he says how much he loves to hear Alex ramble, like I would be offended if somebody said that to me, but the two of them just have these conversations back and forth in spaces, and it's so endearing to hear the two of them go back and forth.
It's a lot of things, but endearing is one of them. Yep.
Well, sometimes, you know. So Neil you've had some stuff going on the last couple of weeks, yeah?
Yeah. I want to talk about Alfie. Can I talk about Alfie?
The hell's that?
Yeah, Alfie is this just G of a goat. We got him as an orphaned goat.
Oh, a literal goat. See, I'm thinking like Tom Brady, and you're talking about
no. He's a goat. He's the goat, and you know,
or that Brett girl. I thought that was her.
Come on, get out of here. So I literally bottle fed Alfie. He was orphaned as a goat, and he was like a pet. I mean, he lived in our house for the first like 6 weeks of his life, with a little diaper on, running around. He's a little Nigerian dwarf, and he also had another goat at the time. We rescued a pony, an obese pony, who we tried to put Alfie and the other goat with. Didn't go super well, and Winston, our overweight pony, killed the other one, kicked her and killed her. Yeah, it's pretty wild. And so we separated Alfie, got Alfie a couple new girlfriends.
Oh,
and they found out they were sick, and so we had them together, and a couple of these are like bacterial sicknesses that are contagious. And so we had all of them tested for everything, and two girls came back with a couple of things. They had to be, they would not have lived a happy life if they would have continued to live. So I had to do some unfortunate tasks in the farm. But Alfie was completely clean. This goat has now survived an obese pony that was grumpy and bacterial infections. And so we have him separated. He's all alone now. He's a little upset because he had all his company, all these women around him, and now he's lonely.
He took his ladies away.
But shout out to Alfie. We're really hoping third time's the charm.
Yeah,
No, he just can't catch a break.
poor guy. At
But
least
he's a
he's
stud.
alive.
Yeah, he's alive. He's
I
doing
didn't
well.
know. I didn't know ponies were killers.
Dude, this pony is
It's
Winston. He doesn't
Winston.
mess around.
Winston
Bosses
likes to
around a
fight
horse.
Neil. It's always
Like,
funny when Neil comes in. Neil will come in Discord all pissed off and he's like, the little shit, he bit me again. And like Winston does not like Neil's hand at all near his mouth. It's so funny.
I wasn't paying attention, and the guy literally just bit my thumb. Like, just, I was like licking my hand, and all of a sudden he's working over and just grabs it.
oh, jeez.
Winston's a cool dude, but Alfie, shout out to him. He survived more than he should have, and he's still.
I'm sure he's listening.
Yeah,
What's that?
I'm sure he is.
I'm sure he's listening.
I play this for him, in the barn.
That's sweet. You go cuddle him and
He's like a
play
dog,
your
right?
podcast.
He really
Well,
is, because he's
I'm
a mini
sure.
goat.
To some
A mini
extent,
goat.
yeah.
He's like the size of a golden retriever, and because he was bottle fed, like he literally he's like the goats that like they do the goat yoga. Have you seen
Goat
that?
yoga? No.
Oh yeah, this is the thing. This is a real
Really?
thing.
Do you watch goat yoga YouTubes like Dragon watches jumping rope?
No,
No.
no.
Oh, the jumping rope. Oh my. You gotta
That's how he spends his
check it
days
out.
now. He watches jump
Yeah.
rope YouTubes. So
Yeah, there's people jump roping. It's like amazing. Like they can dance. They can do a bunch of stuff. It's
he
crazy.
says people because he doesn't want to say there's hot, well-endowed girls that are jumping rope.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Shenanigans.
Naughty boys.
What's been new with you guys?
I don't know. Should I go? I guess I'll go.
can
Well,
edit this
last
part
night
out.
I won poker twice in a row.
Dang,
So I won some Misfits.
nice. The
I
basement.
kind of feel bad because I'm starting to win like all of them.
You feel bad. You should be like, hello, new Anik.
Oh yeah, and I'm winning Misfits. It's crazy.
That's awesome. Bearded was in Discord this morning and said something about Anik's numbers didn't work. And I'm like, what are you talking about, Anik's
Oh,
numbers?
yeah.
I was like off Discord
Oh.
yesterday. So Anik is one of the ones in our community that is just like so sweet. I absolutely adore Anik. And he gets so much shit for winning all the time. Like the dude can't even help it. He can't help that he wins all the time.
Not his
But
fault.
he gets so much hate on it. So Bearded goes to him and asks for him to pick numbers for the Powerball, which, in my opinion, is a genius move.
Yeah.
Like
I
why
screenshot.
not?
I
Did you?
screenshot the numbers. Yeah,
Did
but
you
I
use
never.
them?
No, I never
Oh,
went to
okay.
use them.
So I had no
Like,
clue what he was
watch, I'll
talking
show you.
about, and he tells me that he had Anik pick him numbers out, which,
Yeah.
like I said, is a genius move. So apparently it didn't work.
I have the numbers right there. I
Oh my God,
screenshot
you
it.
did screenshot it. That would have been so funny. You would have had to at least send Anik some of that money because that's like
Totally.
that's
Oh
awesome.
yeah, 100%.
So lucky, and he does get a lot of shit for it, but
He does. And it was funny because I didn't know that at the time that I picked the winners for the scavenger hunt and Anik didn't win. And I'm like, that's really weird that Anik didn't win. And so when I was in the chat, I think it was Bearded was talking to me about the Powerball, and I'm like, oh, because he said that he now gave Anik bad luck because of it. I'm like, that's funny because he just did not win the scavenger hunt. So maybe you did screw up his luck a little bit. So now Bearded probably has a complex like, oh shit, I just messed up Anik's luck.
The last time he won was the Pokemon cards, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
can
I
we
think
talk about
so.
that for a second? Because now that you bring that up, I'm actually okay that he lost because he goes and like tweets out that he was able to get to meet Tom again and hang out with Tom.
Oh yeah.
And tags me and makes some comment about don't be jealous that I got to hang out with Tom. So I'm glad you lost, Anik, because of that snarky little tweet. I think that day I was like, yeah, I don't really want to meet Tom anyways. That's fine. And then I realized I was just bitter and mad. So Maybe I just don't want to meet Anik. No, just kidding.
I don't think whiskey likes being told what to do or how to feel.
I don't. You know, I do so much better if I come to terms with things like, on my own. But if someone like pushes me into like doing something, I'm like resentful towards it because I feel like I don't know. I've gotten to where I am on my own. I can handle it. I'm good. But when people like try to push you to feel or think a certain way, then I'm like, who the hell do you think you are? Like, you know? And I have to work on that because it's not the most attractive trait to be like that, but I am who I am.
What I love
This
about
fireball is making me
It's a
sweaty.
fireball.
what I love
See?
about what?
He said the fireball's making him sweaty. He literally
He's
just got out and
derobing.
left.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't strip on camera.
Or do. Fine too.
Neil might like it.
I had to
Hold on.
shut off the heater. Like I'm like sweating.
What I love though about that personality trait in your role is how much we all are behind you. Because you just have to be told you're doing a good job all the time. You can't do anything about it. It's fantastic.
I know. And you know what's so funny? Like, public praise makes me super weird. Emotions make me super weird. But I am a shit show. Like, you guys know, behind the scenes, I can lose my shit so easy. And poor Tom has experienced it way more than he should. Like, I should have been gone months ago.
No.
But
shut up.
it just like, I don't know. Once I spiral, it's bad. So it's almost like once I get to a certain point, you need to be like, go take a nap. Or, don't tell me to calm down though. Calm down is like fighting words. If somebody says
Is that like
calm down,
bro for you? Calm down.
it's like
Bro,
facts.
calm down.
So bro used to annoy the hell out of me. I used to hate bro so much. And then it became just a joke all the time. Like Tom and I call each other bro all the time now. And it's like, I accept that. But facts pisses me off so hard. And so facts and calm down,
Okay.
nothing. Like, why would you tell someone to calm down?
Yeah.
Will that instantly make them calm down?
You know what I kind of
No.
want to
No.
do? This is what we're gonna do. This is none of my co-hosts know about this.
Choke on candy corn.
Ever tells whiskey on Twitter to calm down the best, I will send them an unrevealed misfit.
Why the hell would you even do that?
Whoa.
So as you're listening
Someone has to tell me to calm down the best. There's no
on
good way to
Twitter,
tell me to calm down.
and then you have to tag chaotic exposure, and whoever the best one is, you can edit this out, but I love it.
So mean.
Yeah. I'll
You're
edit
lucky
it
I
out.
like you. That's fair.
Dragon, do you like this idea?
And then you can send
He's not gonna
nudes
say
to
yes or no.
Neil.
Dragon, do you like this idea or not?
Yeah.
Awesome. Send it. This is happening. So after you listen to this podcast, go to Twitter. Tell Whiskey after listening. Oh, what she needs to calm down about after listening.
What I
Whoever's
need to calm down about? So
Yeah.
there's multiple things I need to calm down about.
and I Neil will airdrop you Misfit unrevealed, which I know it's going to be one I want because I never get one-on-ones, but that's okay. This is worth it. Yes, let's do
It is
that.
the worst, isn't it? When you gift somebody an unrevealed and then you look at it and are like,
Totally.
damn. I did that to
Well,
Lee.
let's make Nick disqualified right now.
Well, Bearded screwed him, so I'm sure he'll be fine.
You guys can ask me about it. I'm fine with that.
Ask you about what? Your face?
About what?
Yeah.
Your face? Your nose?
Yeah. So for those that can't see, Neil looks like he hit on somebody's woman at a bar and just paid for it hardcore. But in reality, it is Concrete 1 and Neil 0. So you had a good time in Boston, yeah?
Yeah, that's why we didn't have a podcast last week. It's all my fault. Last minute, I had to go to Boston.
He was attacked by a midget. He's just lying.
I would have paid money to see that.
Okay, you got to empathize with me just a little bit here. Like, couldn't sleep. My flight was really early. I had to wake up at 3:30. I woke myself up at 2:50 after dreaming about missing my flight all night. If you know, you know. It was miserable. And so I'm tired. I fly, that dehydrates you. Go into right away off the plane into meetings with way more important people than me. I'm talking about the people that are making decisions about more people's lives than I'm comfortable with thinking about. Like just
No
dumb,
pressure.
no pressure, right? Like, and I'm in all these meetings. So then they say, "Hey, we're all going to get dinner at the bar and we're going to hang out." I was not prepared for the amount of drinking these guys do. I wasn't even thinking about drinking because I was just trying not to make a fool of myself. So they're buying me drinks. I'm drinking them. I'm tired.
Well,
It's like
duh. You can't say no to drinks.
it's like well into the night before I know what's happened. And like all these vice presidents and heads of departments are walking back to the hotel. I I don't even remember all of it because I'm pretty sure when I hit the concrete, I remember hitting the concrete. I hit a uneven sidewalk, and I remember my boss's boss picking me up, and I just sit
Man, that's embarrassing.
That is
yeah,
really embarrassing.
I just sit in 2 days of meetings with all these people. Just, I mean, my face looks a lot better after a week. It still hurts and sore,
Yeah.
but it looked a lot worse. I texted you guys pictures of
Yeah.
my face.
You looked a hot mess. But at least
Yeah,
they
that
were
was
there to understand what happened and know the story. Like, because if I would have seen you, I'd have been like, okay, who did you hit on? You know, like the concrete did not do that. But thank God that your nose didn't like break or something
I know,
even worse.
it was
It's pretty
rough.
funny. I wish I was there to laugh.
No, right? Like all the good
I
stuff
would have
happens when
point
we're
and
not
laugh.
around. I would have recorded it.
Oh
I'm
my
like,
gosh.
look at this shit show.
I'm sure
So
he
you
was
say you're a
crying.
mess, Whiskey. I as well am a
I'm
mess.
in good company. I need people around me that inspire me to be better.
So you need better friends? What
Yeah.
is it?
To be a better person. I just be around Neil sometimes and Neil's catastrophe. I'm like, oh, I'm not so
Not doing
bad.
so bad. Yeah. Um. Yeah. Oh, can I talk about something else? Can I talk about the Mooniesons?
Go for it.
What is that?
So big. I'm a community manager of the Mooniesons NFT project. It's a Genesis collection that's about to come out on Twitter, and we just launched our website and our Discord. And so Discord is live. I think it went live while I was in Boston. I didn't really see that because I was in Boston.
You might have been on the concrete, yeah.
Yeah,
But it
but
looks really good.
yeah, it's so good. And I'm in there. So if you guys want to come check out a cool project, Spook is
Yes.
the artist. We're definitely gonna have him on here one of these days. But he's incredible. The core team is a lot of people I know well, and just really happy to be part of it. And come join the Discord. Obviously, Chaotic Exposure's Discord's awesome. Obviously, the Misfits Discord is awesome. But what are you doing, Dragon?
He is loving these emojis.
Man. But anyways, really excited to see things come together. A bunch of opportunities for whitelists are going to be coming out soon. Um, definitely keep an
That's
eye out.
exciting.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's been a long time coming. Whiskey
Right.
knows a lot about that. It's been something that's been being worked on for a while.
Yeah.
Um,
But they're doing it right.
doing it right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, anyways, that's fun.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
So, which is something that kind of brought you and I closer together,
Yeah.
community manager, because you got brought on, what was it, like a month or so ago?
Yep.
Crypto and NFT time is like way longer than reality.
Feels like a
I
year
feel
Oh
like,
ago.
yeah.
right? I feel like I've been doing this for like 2 years, and I look at it, I'm like, oh no, it's only been 3 months. Got a long way to go. But that's cool because Neil was like, man, when Alex and Tom were traveling, Neil was like so solid when I was going through like rough days and I felt like the pressure of it all. And it was when we were dealing with like the cans coming in of people ordering stuff, and my God, I felt so stressed that whole time, and it was awful. Like those were the worst weeks, and Neil was like so awesome with helping me get through that because No joke. It's the pressure's so real.
Yeah.
And I can take it, but it's just a different kind of pressure.
It's
When
nice
you
to
feel
not be an
like,
island with that pressure. You can't be
yeah,
standing on your own. You know.
yeah, it's hard. And if I feel like I'm on my own and just kind of off by myself, I start to like sink and not do well. So Neil's pretty solid. And
Yeah.
then that's when I started getting closer to Dragon too, because the three of us would always like chat in Discord and stuff. But
Yeah. Yeah. And
random
like,
spiel.
oh, I'm really pumped to. Okay. Was with the project. I've already said that. I've said no to a lot of projects. I've even like tried to say yes and then later had to say no. But, Whiskey was really good about kind of letting me process all that with her as the verbal communicator that I am. It wasn't a light thing for me to say yes, but knowing that I had like people like Dragon and Whiskey as another community manager out there that I could like learn from, and she wouldn't like get upset at me when I stole her ideas, and like just having that having a good community around you as a person is even more important than having a community around you as an NFT and project. So I'm excited to finally say yes to a role publicly. And I'm excited for it to get going because it's been, like I said, months in the making. I mean, Spook's been working on this art for like a year, maybe more.
Yeah. He's
And
amazing.
he's so great. You guys are gonna love him when I get him. But anyway, so that's the. I think. Did you have what? Did you have other questions? I think there was something else you wanted me to talk about.
I don't know, but Dragon, you've been killing it on the soccer field.
Yeah, you have.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I've been trying. Yeah, so last night I had a late game, and it was the last game of the season, and then I scored. I was able to score my first goal.
Yeah, buddy.
It was nice,
Did
but
something else too, right?
no, I was a nice boy.
I feel like there was one big moment
No.
in the game.
He says
that-
it while he's got this huge smile on his face. So you were a good boy, but the smile says otherwise.
No, um, I probably played like a total of like 7 minutes because like I got my goal and then there was this guy that he was good. I started playing defense, so this guy's was gonna beat me, and he had a good chance to score. So I decided to like take him out pretty hard, and so they had to kick me out. I got carded.
Oh man,
Yeah.
you bodied him.
Yeah,
Did you drop kick him?
but it was fun. I liked it, and I don't regret it. It was fun. You gotta always have a goal and get kicked out.
Yeah.
You need
That's the
someone to
best
be a
part.
bruiser. You need someone to be able to come on the field and do the thing that needs done.
Well,
Yeah,
I think
but-
he did that this time. Dragon didn't take any crap
Yeah.
this time. He was like, I'm super sad that we missed that because
I know.
every week all of us are like cheering Dragon on from Discord, and I keep telling him like, just put us on video and audio and like put your phone up on your bag or something so we can watch. But I feel like we would embarrass him so much with all the yelling and screaming. We'd be
Yeah.
obnoxious, but it'd be worth it.
I want to be like I want to get like Drill,
Mhm.
Bearded, myself, Chris
Yeah.
Vaughn, and I want to get like the longest yard. I want to be like the cheerleaders on there,
Yes.
and just like go ham, just go
It'd be
nuts.
so funny.
I know.
We would
It's like
embarrass him so bad.
I love soccer, but like I get a little too rough. Like I don't know. I get too crazy. Like I already caused a penalty this season because of doing that.
Good job. Proud of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're
I like
not
it.
gonna
It's-
tell you to behave.
No.
But next week is playoffs, so hopefully we do good.
And the World Cup's around the corner.
Anybody?
Oh yeah, in the World Cup. Can't wait for that.
Team USA, right? No.
Sure. I kind of want like a little European country to win. Like
Croatia? Like, what do you mean?
yeah, like Croatia. I love Croatia. Who's the other one? Man, I can't think of the other country.
I'm a big soccer fan. I've discovered this over the last couple of years of my life, and it is superior to American football.
You
But
play?
US has a good chance to win. They have like young players that like they'll make it up there.
They're not like us. They actually are athletic. You know what's so funny? Are you guys like this? So there's sports that I love playing, but I hate watching.
Hmm.
Are you that way? No?
No.
Yeah.
So I
I don't like watching soccer. Yeah,
no, and
I'd
I
rather
grew
play.
up I grew up playing soccer. I grew up playing basketball. I grew up playing volleyball, and basketball I'll watch occasionally. But I don't like watching those. And then golf, I love playing golf, but I will not watch it. It's so boring. But I
Yeah.
will watch football, but not play it, obviously, because
My
these
legs and arms, I'll just kind of illustrate for you guys, are a lot longer.
we can't see the legs. You got to stretch more.
I,
Stretch it
I
out.
they're just my arm is just unnaturally long by like a few inches. I can touch my knees without bending, and like I've just never been good at sports. I've just not been quite right.
Because of your arm?
My
You're
arms
not
and legs are
stretching
just slightly too
properly.
long. Like I have no like. I just my foot should land. I land 3 inches further, and it just
Oh
doesn't.
my God.
Yeah, I've never been a very athletic person, but I do put in fence posts and work on a farm. If that
That's the
counts.
same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't die when I do that. I just die in Boston, apparently.
Okay. Alcohol and concrete will kill you. So I need to take this opportunity to have a honest whiskey moment. I have made it no secret that I was not into anime and manga when I got into the Misfits. But as we talked
Same.
about, I'm not a person that does stuff because everyone else does it. I'm not really like a follower. I do things on my own. With that being said, I did subscribe to Crunchyroll, which for those people that don't know, it's pretty much like anime Netflix. Um, and I've been binging on anime. So I watched, what did I watch? I watched all of Spy X Family, and then I watched Another, which I highly recommend Another. If you kind of like it's kind of like Final Destination,
Oh,
but an anime version.
Oh,
I
I
So
need
tried
to
to
watch
start
that.
it. I
you
tried to
might like
start it. It seemed kind of tough to get going.
So the first few episodes, I feel like it feel like it dragged a little bit the first few episodes, but then it really started getting good, and then I started trying to predict things,
Mm,
and I was right on one episode, but then the rest of them I was completely thrown off, and by the time I ended it, I loved it. So
okay.
Another was really good, and then I finally watched Chainsaw Man. um
Yeah, boobies.
yeah, so we're going to talk about that. I feel like I owe Alex a huge apology because I talked an awful lot of shit about Chainsaw Man. And I'm like, this dude is like, but he's so passionate, not passionate. He got a little excited about the violence that happened in Chainsaw Man. I'm like, you have some serious problems. But then once I watched it, I was like, this is amazing. I
Mm-hmm.
love Chainsaw Man. And I watched the newest episode today. Have you guys seen it?
Oh
Watch it.
no, it's today.
Yeah.
What?
So, okay.
Can't say anything.
I will not give away anything. However, I felt that this episode, at various points, I felt heard in
Yeah.
multiple ways. Um, and all I'm gonna say is it's all about the hands.
Okay.
Guys are into booties, and that's fine. But I'm here to say it's about the hands. It's all about the
Yeah.
hands.
So this is what I do want to say about Chainsaw Man, because I said it in Discord, but I don't think anybody understood what I was really saying. I do that. I'm not good at typing. Friends here know that all too well. Um, so forget about his motive. Forget about the actual motive that Chainsaw Man has. It's not important. But do you know what is
Uh.
important? You know what is important?
Dragon's like, I disagree.
Okay, but like that's not my point. My point is not about his motive.
Right.
My point is his just unflinching like I'm not dumb. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I know what I'm about. and I know what I want. And
Yeah.
that's confidence. You know what I mean? Like, because after you watched it, I finally caved and said, okay, it was a free 14-day trial. I watched it literally and
Not.
like, what?
I said, why not?
Why not? So I just said, fine, cool, I'll do it, whatever. Because I've been a bit resistant. Whiskey, I'm not like when whiskey caves. It's like, okay, I will cave to you because it's like I know
But
if
it's
she'll
funny.
hold out, then it's worth
I
it.
caved. I caved because I wanted to prove myself right in that Alex was nuts for liking it. And then I had to go to him with my tail between my legs and say, "Yeah, I really do like it."
Yeah, like it honestly, I wish I had that confidence most of the time. Just like, no, I don't care. You think I'm stupid. I don't care what you think over there. I know what I want, and it's simple. You might want the like world. I don't. I'm good with who I am, and I loved so far that.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, you guys will love the new episode. So I hope that you watch it later so that we can talk about it because I laughed and then I related to so much of it. But the dude's obsession with like boobs, I'm kind of like, okay. I mean, I accept that, but seriously, that's pretty much what he gets excited about.
Yeah, like I feel like it's a little bit too much, but
Yeah.
still it's making it amazing. I love the show.
It's good. I'm impressed. Wow. Oh, we have a really fun guest this week. Are we going there now? I think it's about that time.
Yeah, we do.
I just want to say about this guest, like, really is a real one, you know. And it's really cool that we got him to come on. And I'm excited for you guys to
Mhm.
hear the conversation. Um,
So
He's
we
my
have.
favorite.
oh snap! I'm telling,
Wow.
I'm telling on you.
So we have Tom Frazer from the Misfits NFT that is going to join us, and we're going to expose him a little bit, which is exciting because we usually get Alex that goes into so much that I don't think people get a chance to experience Tom and all his sarcastic glory. So it'll be fun.
Yeah, well, good morning and welcome, or good night, I guess. Tom, thanks for coming in. Good to have you here. Oh, that's cool. Craig starts recording as soon as you start talking. That's really neat. Yeah, really glad to have you. We're a shit show, which is great. And we're excited to have you come in. But yeah, thanks for being with us today.
Yeah, dude.
You're with the
Happy to be
Misfits,
here.
by the way.
It's good,
Tom
man.
is one of the co-founders of the Misfits NFT project. Someone that all three of us have gotten to know really well for quite some time. And yeah, we're just pumped to get into the conversation. But yeah, Whiskey, what's up?
I just need to address a very sensitive topic that has come up, and I need to know Tom's answer to it. Fantasy football. Do you
God.
even remember that you have fantasy football?
I forgot about that. I do not know
Oh
anything
my
about American
actual
football.
hell.
Am I winning? Am I winning?
You son of a bitch. You seriously have been in like first place almost the
Nah.
whole time.
Yeah.
Seriously?
It's not funny. It's not funny at all. I get raged. Shut up, Neil. I get raged when I go and check every week, and every damn time you are in first or second place.
Oh,
And you
You
forgot
have
that
like
you even had
double
it.
the points than me.
Oh my god. Okay.
Oh,
Well,
I don't know what to say. Just
I-
good at things that I do.
that's not what I wanted to hear, actually.
did
I
some
actually
good
was
picks.
hoping that he would. No. See, that's another thing. Shut up, Dragon, because you know where it's coming. He didn't even draft. Okay. Like, we spent hours in Discord drafting our players, and this little shit didn't even show up to draft. Got amazing team and has been in first and second place the whole season and has done nothing for it. And I have been working my ass off to get up there. So
Whiskey, you're
now I
trying
know.
too hard. I think you're trying too hard. That's my diagnosis of this problem.
Apparently. But at least out of the two of us, I try, right? You just kind of like float through life.
So Tom and Whiskey work together closely, and I think we're gonna get a lot of these. Me and Dragon,
Yeah.
I think we're gonna be referees a couple times today. I thought, see how it goes. Dragon, unless you want to go ahead, I'll ask a question.
I guess we can start. Do you play any sports, or did you play any sports?
Yeah, man. I play golf. My dad was a professional golfer in his early 20s, so I play a lot of golf. I never made it to professional because it's actually pretty hard. They say it's the hardest sport in the world because it requires a lot of patience, confidence, etc. So yeah, I never made it, but I love golf. In high school, I played a lot of rugby. American people probably don't appreciate rugby. The one of the manliest sports on the planet. Unlike your little pansy game where you're padded up and wearing helmets. So yeah, I played a lot of rugby in high school. Loved it.
Do they have
the shit kicked out of me.
Do they have all those commercials in rugby, like American football?
Neil
Yeah,
gets
you
super
missed
mad
one.
about the commercials.
Yeah, I mean that's just classic capitalism, which is what
Yeah.
America is. I mean, no, we're much less commercial than American football and rugby. It's purely the love of the game. I'm like,
Tom's in a mood this morning.
yeah. But for soccer, like soccer events, they're more commercial and more full of ads, but still not to the extent that I've heard American football is. So no, rugby's
Are you excited for the
pretty.
World Cup?
Yeah, man, it's been a lot of controversy around it being held in the Middle East, but I think it's going to be cool, man. I'm excited. I'm not massive into football, into soccer, but it's always a good event. I think it's it's a lot of
You
fun.
have to tell me more
favorite
about
team?
that. Well, before you answer that, Tom, tell me what you mean by controversy. Because in America, like, I have to scratch and crawl and bite my way to information because it's just not something that's covered really. I didn't even realize there was controversy. What does that mean?
So it's being held in a country that's not big for football. I can't remember. Is it like Qatar or something like that, or it's one of the Middle East countries? So a lot of the fans are saying, from European countries where football is the biggest, they're kind of saying like, why is it being held there? There's, I think there's heavy restrictions on alcohol consumption, which people love to do when they go and watch games. So people are kind of
Got
losing their shit, and the organization that runs it is called FIFA, and they're apparently there's a lot of corruption and bribery that's gone on, and a lot of under the table payments that have happened, and to facilitate it being held in that country. So people aren't very happy, but I think they're spending billions on the infrastructure for it over there. So I think it'll be a good event, but we shall see.
Yeah. And what were you asking, Dragon?
Do you have a favorite team you're gonna cheer for?
I mean, it's hard, man. I've lived all over the world. So I was actually the Football World Cup was held in South Africa one year. I was actually in South Africa that year. And the host country, their team
That's
always,
awesome.
yeah, man, their team always get to play even if they don't qualify because South Africa never qualifies. So we got to play in a few matches and it was really cool, man. They had I don't know if you guys remember, or were aware, but we had like these vuvuzelas, which were these big like horn things that everyone was blowing and shit. So, oh yeah, Dragon, you play soccer, right? So that's you'd be aware. So yeah, man, I was out there for that. So it would be South Africa, but I recently got Irish citizenship, so I guess I'll go for Ireland. Never England.
Yeah, let's go.
Anyone playing against England, I'll root for. But I'm not
Okay.
super into it.
So that's funny that you say you're not super into it because the way you talk is compared to at least an American, right? That's very into it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So it's funny, like the spectrum there. But Whiskey, have we talked about golf on the podcast yet?
No.
No. I have a confession for the Chaotic Exposure listeners.
Let's hear it.
So my cousin was about to start on the PGA Tour.
Oh wow.
Yep. He instead got a lady pregnant and dropped out, which is just
Oh, you
beautiful.
hate to see it. Yeah,
You hate to see it.
that's beautiful.
Well, golf was a big part of family gatherings. It was all that was discussed. It was golf, 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 golf. And I was a pretty rebellious youth. Didn't really wasn't into whatever my family was into. I was into using substances and being a degenerate. I'm clean and sober, minus some alcohol occasionally, which we can talk about that later. Story for another day. But I never I revolted and said no way, never doing golf. So I have never, outside of a putt course, hit a golf ball with a golf club.
That's not golf. It's not golf. That is not golf.
I know. I'm just saying it's not true to say I've never hit a golf ball, but I've never hit a golf ball outside of a putt golf course. I know it's not golf. I'm not trying to suggest that I've played golf, but I'm admitting that I've never played, and I'm just trying to not be dramatic, as I tend to be. That's all.
Yeah, I think golf is one of those games. It's like if you're living a kind of faster life when you're in your late teens, early 20s, mid 20s, whatever it was, Neil, when you were in that phase. I think it's a hard game to take on when you're living life in the fast lane. It requires a lot of patience, a lot of consistency and practice. It's not something you can just walk on and kind of fumble through. So yeah.
So it's like you can never play, right?
Yeah. That's why it's it's an old man sport, because it's slow paced. It's not something that a lot of the younger guys are coming onto the golf scene. So like on YouTube and stuff like that, the full send guys are bringing golf back, but in a more degenerate way. They're down in tinnies on the course and getting rowdy with the golf carts and shit like that. So I mean,
two-turn Tony. Are you talking about two-turn Tony?
Yeah.
I played golf once, and I don't know if it counts as playing. Like, I went to a range, and then the day after, like, I couldn't walk. Like, my back was destroyed. I don't know why.
Did you
I never went back.
Did you stretch?
Probably not. I was
No.
young and shape, so I didn't think I need to. But
yeah,
that
you
was
can.
horrible.
You're using muscles that you're not used to using. So yeah, it's pretty easy to throw it out back out.
That sounds awful. Maybe I don't want to play.
Gotta stretch. Gotta stretch, man.
It's dangerous.
Oh my God.
Wolf. That sounds
Kids,
scary.
golf is dangerous. For any kids listening, stay away from golf. It's dangerous.
Yep.
So Tom,
like alcohol and drugs. It's just golf.
Yeah, exactly.
We can move in the fast lane, all right? What did you have to say, Tom? Oh no. So Tom, you work for the Misfits, a project that all three of us love a lot. And Whiskey, I might be stealing your thunder a little bit, but I've actually tried to talk to you a couple of times, and I've always been pushed to Alex. And here we are, we get you all to ourselves, which is very exciting.
Yeah, this isn't my arena, so do forgive
you're doing
me,
great.
Yeah.
No, you're doing great. But I mean, something Whiskey always does a good job of talking about week to week, month to month, is how awesome you are and how much you work and all the things that you do. I would love for you to just have an opportunity for me to hear, and for Dragon and anyone listening, what are some of the things that you enjoy doing for the Misfits? Totally stealing your question, Whiskey.
Oh, Whiskey, what are you gonna say? Are you pissed, Whiskey?
No, there's a lot of questions here, so that's fine. I just want to know the answer.
Yeah, awesome. I think everything. I love everything. I love everything about the Misfits. I think, when we started, I didn't, like with any business, I didn't appreciate how much there was to do. But from my side, I loved building the Discord. So I do like all of the operation stuff for the Misfits, all of the back end work. So I've learned a lot in the last, year, some of the stuff that I've loved learning is all of the coding side. So I do all of the metadata generation. I do all of the images generation. I sort through the fucking thousands of traits that Alex has created, and see what works together and what doesn't. So that part of it I really enjoy, but it got tedious with the main drop because we had so many. But yeah, I really enjoyed learning how to code. I love running the Twitter. I love working on Photoshop and posting graphics on Twitter. And then yeah, I just love working in the back end. I love working with the developer on the website. I love all of the iterations of the contract he made. I loved him explaining that to me. And then yeah, I just love being I love everything. It's just we do so much, but it's it's truly a labor of love. It does get tiring. We do get burnt out. But yeah, everything that I'm doing, I thoroughly enjoy. So yeah, the Misfits is, it's been one of the best things I've done in my life for sure. Especially, meeting you amazing people on this awesome podcast.
Thank you for all the hard work.
No, for real, absolutely.
No,
So
you guys as
Go ahead.
well. Thank you for holding it down. It really, it takes a lot of pressure off of Alex and I to run. There's so many different facets to the project, as you guys know, and keeping the wider community engaged is a 24/7 job. We've got people in every time zone. It's very, very time consuming, and when we're trying to kind of work more strategically, big picture, it was tough for me to be in the Discord all of the time, and also kind of work on fulfilling what it is that we want the Misfits to be. So for especially Whiskey coming in and the incredible work that she's doing, it's taken a lot of strain in that area off of our shoulders and allowed us to really start putting the infrastructure in place to, so when the next bull comes, we're so ready for it, and take the project to new heights. So thank you guys incredibly as well.
I kind of got a picture. Go ahead.
Oh, I just wanted to say, Whiskey is doing like awesome. I think she deserves a raise. Just saying.
I second that. Here.
Yeah, I wish.
Fans of Whiskey.
I wish we were all getting paid for the work that we're doing for the Misfits, but that time will come. That time will come for sure.
Absolutely. I kind of got just a picture. You're kind of the guy behind the scenes giving everybody the user experience that they should have. Like that's really what it is, right? Like, because there's a million things you do, but you're the quality control. You're the person making sure that when somebody gets their NFT or goes to the website or interacts with this project, they're getting the best possible user experience they can have.
Yeah, exactly, man. That's pretty much it in a nutshell, from end to end, making sure that the experience is from digitally as pleasing as is possible, and as fulfilling as it is for us in the back end for everyone else. Being part of the community and experiencing the digital products, and looking forward to what we're building as well. So yeah, that's pretty much what I focus on.
So what was last reveal day like for you? Like, what was that like? Did you love it? Did you hate it?
I hate reveal days. They are
really.
Oh, dude, it's the most stressful time. It, like, literally, we're combing through every image as it's revealing, making sure there's no blunders, making sure everything's where it's supposed to be. Oh yeah, dude, we when we launched the Genesis, it was, there were certain traits that didn't align in the metadata, and it's you don't realize how much there is involved in that side of things in the back end, and making sure that all aligns is actually very difficult. And that was my first run at it, and there were some mistakes that I learned from tremendously, so thank God it was only 200 pieces. But we did go back and fix them, and the first drop of the main collection was pretty seamless, and everything seems to be in order. Haven't had any complaints yet, but yeah, reveal days for me, man. Oh, And Alex, I remember, when was it? Alex was like, he sent me a text. We were like midway through, and I think it was Genesis as well. Like one of the swirly eye trait on Izzy, like it looked like it was on top of the hair, and it needs to be like there's different layers to the NFT, so it looked like the eyes were sitting on top of the hair, but it wasn't. He was just looking at it wrong, and he sent me a quick text, and then I'm just like fucking panicking. I'm like, dude,
Oh
what's the
no.
number of the NFT? What's the number of the NFT? What is it? What is it? He's not replying. He's not replying. And like 20 minutes go by. I've sent him like 50 messages. And then he's like, oh no, my bad. And I was like, dude, what the fuck? I was sitting there like, oh, dude. So yeah, like reveal days, I absolutely love it. And I think for the next reveal, we're going to make, a massive spectacle out of it. I'm looking forward to maybe working with Chris and getting the metaverse side of it kicking off as well in his clubhouse, and then we'll do a Twitter space simultaneously. But I mean, they're fun, but they're stressful from a tech backend perspective.
You're allowed to say you hate it. That's allowed. I was just genuinely interested. That's like, that's when somebody gets to see your baby, right? Like,
exactly, man. Exactly, and
Yeah.
it's like hours, and as you said, it's hours and hours and hours of quality control, and not just for me, for Alex as well. We sit and go through, thousands of images to make sure that they look as good as possible, and there's no blunders and no traits that misalign. Because when you're working with as many traits as Alex puts together, sometimes you'll miss something. The wing traits are a nightmare. Like all of the wing traits, those some clothes, like they would overlap incorrectly, and you'd only realize it after your computer's been running for 6 hours and you've generated thousands of images, and then you have to rerun everything again. So basically the code deletes all of the images and reruns it again. And yeah, it's just, and Alex and I sit, like, I think, yeah, before the last reveal, we sat for most of the night. We didn't sleep for like a couple nights before the reveal. So yeah, it's stressful, but it's such a rewarding feeling when everyone's going crazy on the Twitter space and everyone's loving their NFTs. So yeah, it's a double-edged sword.
So going from that to the traits, since we're on the topic, what are some of your favorite traits from the collection so far?
So from the main collection, I love Izzy's angel wings. I think that they just came out so nice. I love the Otaku maid outfit for Izzy as well. I love the jelly hair for Izzy. I don't know if you're catching a common theme here.
So basically, Izzy is number one.
Izzy is number one for me. I love Izzy. I think that she's got like an innocence to her that's so appealing, and also she's a badass. So it's just that contradiction just for me is just awesome. You wanna like give her a cuddle, but if you give her a cuddle, she's gonna smack you in the face for it. So I just love that. I love that aspect of the character. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. I love that strong independence with the cute feminine side as well. So that's what I love about that character and her traits.
Yeah, I mean, Izzy really, like, when you look at, first of all, the whole collection's one. I mean, even Baz, who I didn't immediately connect with, as soon as I started seeing him come up in the manga, I immediately got it, and I was like, oh, Baz. And now he's kind of great, even in the collection. But like, Izzy in what's been revealed has definitely popped the most to me. Like, I'm a Trip fan, number one, but like, there's just no contest. I don't know if it's because there's more to work with like her hair, like the different hairstyles or whatever it is, but like, man alive, she just pops in that collection.
Yeah, she's awesome, and it's hard. Like Alex, it's hard for Alex that we've got hundreds and hundreds of traits, and you can't imagine the work and creativity required to create that many variations of traits. And for each character, maybe sometimes some don't pop as well as the other. But yeah, when you're working with that many jumbled ideas in your head, I think what he's produced is next level. I'm super happy with you guys are happy. Yeah, she's awesome. Team Izzy, let's go.
All three of us definitely are not people to take advice from because of how much we buy in terms of Misfits. Like, it's a problem. But we love the whole collection. What was up, Dragon?
Oh, nothing.
You want to say
Dragon's
something?
just team Izzy.
So enough talking about Izzy because there are 4 other characters, but we won't go into that. Neil
I
had a
think
question about. Go ahead.
Baz gets a bad rep. I'm like, I really want Baz to get more love. He's always on the floor. Like everyone's like giving him
just
such a
stays on
bad
the
rep.
floor.
And he just sits on the floor. But in the manga, I think once, like Neil said, I think once people get more of a flavor of his personality, we'll see
Yeah.
some more Baz fans. But yeah, for now, poor little Beza. I think he's a great little character in the NFT. I think he's got some great traits.
It's grown on me a ton, like over the last however many months it's been. Like,
Yeah.
Right away I was like, what is this? I don't want this. And then the more I've looked at it, and also the more he's come out in the manga, it's like once you have something to connect. I think Baz is the hardest character to initially connect with until you read the manga. Whereas Trip is like this trying to make it. Dex is just this disaster. You know, Izzy and Trixie are wonderful and awful, and there's something there. Baz there's a lot there, but it's just I think more of a secret, and it's something that people have to kind of find out. And then once you do, the NFTs just make so much more sense.
Yeah, absolutely. I think like the first introduction to him is perfect as well because he's kind of stoic and he doesn't give much away emotionally, and yeah, he's like burdened by Dex, but at the same time you can see he kind of loves him, and yeah, it's just an interesting character, and he's going to come to life as the chapters progress for sure.
Absolutely.
That's
What were you gonna
probably
say?
how Alex and Tom feel. Like they're burdened by Dex, but like they're burdened by whiskey. You know, there's such a relationship there. As soon as he said that he's burdened by Dex, I'm like, oh, okay, I get it.
No, you know that's not true. You know that's not true
Truths
at all.
always come out on podcasts. It's okay. I understand.
Whiskey's just out here fishing for compliments. That's what it feels like.
Oh no!
Wow.
No, whiskey, we love.
I don't normally get those from you, so that's okay. I don't expect them.
Such a lie. That's such a lie. It's such a lie. If you guys could see how much encouragement I give, you would know that she's lying. But no, Whiskey, you're doing a fantastic job. We wouldn't be the project we are today without everything that you've done. So yeah, let's keep killing it.
Alex is terrible at doing this stuff, so that's why Tom has to do it. He tells Tom, you need to take care of Whiskey because I don't have time to handle her. Guaranteed.
I won't confirm or deny that, Whiskey.
It's okay. I know it.
What's up, Dragon?
Oh, so I just got some info right here from my team. Did did the Misfits have different names, like the characters?
Oh, yes, sir. Oh, I was talking to I actually had to get a reminder from Alex today about the names when I saw that question pop up. At the time I was really reluctant to change the names as well, but Trip used to be called Timmy.
No.
And yeah, and Izzy, I think we called Izzy Tina, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's what her initial name was.
Isn't that terrible? And he didn't want to change it.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's horrendous.
I'm not lying when I say this. I think it took Alex 2.5 weeks to convince me that we had to change the names.
Wow.
I was genuinely. I think it got to the point where I was like, "You're not listening to any of my ideas. You don't respect my input." And then I just texted him today, and I was like, "Dude, why was I so hung up on those stupid names? They're terrible. Never listen to my creative direction ever, Alex. You're killing it." So yeah, that was awesome, man. Yeah, those names are gone for good. But I think we might still have a few of those images from their first iteration. So I think we might do something with those in the future for sure. But yeah, Timmy and Tina.
Ooh.
Timmy is so much worse than Trip. Like, that's so bad.
Yeah.
So well done. Good job.
It's hard,
Do you
like
want
when
to
you.
see the Trip, Alex sent it to me. Do you want to see the trip?
Can
Oh
I?
yeah.
Oh no! Oh
Yeah. So
no!
Doesn't that change
initially,
things a little bit?
It does.
are people going to be able to see that on the podcast or
No,
no?
no, no.
No.
Okay. All right. Good.
That's an
Thank God.
internal
Yeah.
exclusive.
Yeah. Burn that whiskey. Burn it.
um,
I'm saving
you know,
those. The Izzy one's great too.
Tom, this whole podcast kind of came out of like this endeavor that really you and Alex started off of friends finding each other in the space. And the space is like wild and chaotic and just can be a nightmare, and it also can be the best thing ever at different times. And when I say space, I mean Web3, right?
Yep.
We've talked a lot about with Alex over the last long time about his journey in the space. So we even talked with you briefly, but we've never got a chance to. I've never got a chance to say, hey, you know what was it like for you? Like just to put a fine point on it, like I came to the Misfits at kind of a lower point in my journey in this wild world, and found some of the best people that exist. I'm thinking there's emojis going on in the background because I can't see them because I'm on mobile, and Whiskey's losing it. But it was just this wild world of it was chaos, and not always in a good way. But I'm just genuinely interested after hearing Alex talk about it so many times, like what it was like for you navigating the space and finding Alex. You two are we all know to be very good friends. For those of you that don't know, these are the two, Alex and Tom. They're the co-founders of this whole project, the Misfits, and they're very close. It's very obvious to us.
Yeah, man. Look, I think when did I start? I started in Web3 and I think like September, maybe a bit up, like a bit before September. Yeah, it was nuts, man. That was like the full bull market. Everything was going crazy. You jumped into Discords, there was like hundreds of thousands of people. The chats were flying. You couldn't connect with anyone. It just felt, it just felt fake and disingenuous. So for me, I got like when I first saw the first NFT I ever saw was like a Bored Ape, obviously, and I saw the prices that they were going for, and I just didn't get it. It was like, what the fuck, like the classic story. And I was hungover one day in bed, man, and I was like, I was like, let me look into this shit because there's some obviously people are making money. I want to find out more about it. I'm quite entrepreneurial in that sense. So I was looking into it, and I never really owned any assets. I never like that ownership piece to me was what kind of got me. I don't know with you guys, but when I'm hungover, I like to buy shit. Like just the dopamine hit is just like what you need when you're like sitting in bed in a ball, depressed. So yeah, I was like, well, I can't move. I'm not going to go to the shops and buy like some sneakers or something. So let me check out these NFTs. And I bought something on OpenSea. I think it was like a dumpster dog or something. The thing had like a cigar. Yeah, the thing had like a cigar in its mouth. It was animated. It flipped you off. And dude, I was like, I was super. I was relating to him a lot because I was also in that generosity phase of just drinking all the time and smoking and all that stuff. And I was like, yeah, fuck, man.
You're saying?
Once it hit my wallet, I was like, shit, man, this is mine. I own this. This is so cool. Like I just got this feeling of like that ownership feeling to me was so cool. I just loved it. I was like, yeah, no one else can say that they own this picture, which was a ridiculous thing to say, like 2 or 3 years ago. But yeah, that's how I felt. And then I was hooked, man. And then I never used Discord like you guys. I didn't get it. So I jumped in one. I think the first one I got into was Guardians of the Metaverse. Just fucking, dude, I was in that Discord like all day, every day, nonstop for like 2 or 3 weeks to get the whitelist spots. And again, I just got a taste of how fake and this, like everyone was saying when Lambo, when Moon, like WagMe, all the bullshit degenerate fucking things that everyone was saying to level up in Discord so that they could get on the whitelist. Anyway, I got those, got on whitelist, bought those, and then I was like, and then they released, and then I bought one pre-reveal for like, I think I paid like 0.7 ETH, which at that time was up there as well. I was like, yeah, I went a bit stupid, and then they revealed, and then the floor tanked, and it just went to shit like most of those projects do. And I was kind of sitting there thinking, okay, let's analyze why this went wrong. And the whole thing was, okay, the community was fake. No one was built. There wasn't any genuine connection being made with the people that were going in to buy these things. And when that is the case, and everyone's just there for the potential to make money, you know, it's a very slippery slope once things start going wrong, because people don't band together. So then I started looking to projects that kind of had more of a, you know, a Web 2 backing. So I found the Boonji project, and more of an artistic and more of a name behind it, because I felt like with a brand it would be safer as an investment. So I found the Boonji project, and yeah, again, it was kind of like, I think they had like 100,000 people in the Discord, and the chat was just going mental, and it was just the same old shit. But then all of a sudden, I mean, Alex has told this story 1,000 times probably, but you know, I think he was like, I was like, yeah, I'm Irish, but I live in Singapore. And then Alex is, you know, he's lived in Ireland, he's lived in Singapore, and then we just started chatting. It was very hard to chat because the chat was just flying at 1,000,000 miles an hour. We became friends, and we kind of shared the same sentiment of the space, the chaos of it, the disingenuousness of it. All the rug pulls were going on. People were losing their money. Projects were falling to pieces that didn't have significant branding behind them. So we were like, dude, let's come together. Let's you know, spend you know, a few months, and let's make something that, you know, is going to create real value and bridge Web 2 and Web 3 together. Let's create something that isn't toxic in nature, and let's set the precedent for what we want the community to be. And that's kind of how we came to the Misfits. And then obviously I was like, because I'm not a creative mind in any sense, and I've never professed to be, but Alex was like, yeah, I'm really into manga and you know, and anime and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, cool. Well, that can be the art direction, and you can run with that. And yeah, man, that's kind of how we got started, and the rest is history.
Something that for those that aren't maybe not as exposed to the Misfits, just to add some flavor in, that I know Alex would probably appreciate it. You two started like really talking to each other all the time, right? Like you guys formed a friendship, and that's where a lot of that like identifying of similar sentiment, and there was this like really big relational, like, we want to do things the right way, right?
Yeah, man. I mean, I think good people attract good people, and I think that's why, you know, us as the Misfits has been as successful as it has through this crypto winter and this bear market. I think you know, Alex and I, we connected straight away. It was like after a week, it's like we'd known each other for years, you know, and that friendship, and I almost look at him as like an older brother. He's you know, I've learned so much from him. He's you know, been in corporate for so long. He's got the gift of the gab. He you know, he builds my confidence up, and I've learned a lot of how to you know, my communication skills and soft skills have improved a lot through just being around him. So yeah, to say friendship is on the light side. You know, we're more like family. I mean, the level of communication between Alex and I is almost toxic. It's like we're a married couple. I speak to the dude more than anyone else, more than my own mother probably. And yeah, like it's every day, more than girlfriends, more than anyone that I've ever had a relationship with. So it's next level, dude. There's not a day that goes by we're not having 2-3 hour conversations about everything that we envisage this project to be. So yeah,
it's
super.
It's funny that you called him older brother, because you like to throw out a pretty intense word at like people like me and Whiskey and Dragon. You like to lead into
the B word. The B word.
The B word. You're just a little child, right? He calls us a boomer. Boomer.
Well, I think to a lot of the guys in Web3, even I'm a boomer, man. Like a lot of these guys are 20, 21, 22. So yeah, to us, that was another thing to us. It was like these these kids are running these projects. All of a sudden, they have millions of dollars, and they have no real world corporate experience. They have no business experience, and that's a lot of the reason that it failed. Okay, they're great at garnering attention, brilliant marketers, but when it comes to the nitty gritty of the business aspect, no one was really doing it, outside of the monsters, the blue chips. But yeah, so that was another kind of gap in the market we wanted to fulfill. But yeah, it's hard to build a project without hype, and we didn't want to build the Misfits around hype. So yeah, we found organic growth was the best medium. Yeah, man, it's been a journey with Alex. He's a great dude. I think with his voice behind the project, there's no real limits for us in the long term.
I don't want to hug the mic, but man, it just is wild. Like the sentiment you guys had, the desires you had to create a project in a different way, and to look at the type of community that the Misfits are. I try to go in other places and talk about it, because I'm a community manager of another project. I've talked with other people involved with other stuff, and there really is just no community like this that I have ever encountered. I'm not to say there isn't, it could be. I just haven't found it. Never, not once.
Yeah, I agree, man. It's something special.
Yeah, you guys did it.
Look, I think there's a certain level of credit we can take. I think that we set out with that that mentality that's what we wanted. But for it to actually happen is very difficult in a space that's so toxic. And I think NFT Twitter is just, there's been a lot of drama going on over the last few weeks as well, and it's such a toxic place. So to be able to get out of that mud, it's very difficult. So I can't take full credit. Again, I think like attracts like, and I think that good people come together and find each other, and I think that's what we can attribute a lot of the success to, with regards to the community. But yeah, it's just beyond our wildest dreams what we have and what we're building.
Dragon shake his head.
Do you have something that you want to add into this?
Oh, well, I just like the Misfits have become like a safe haven. Like even like you can see like on Discord, like big people from other projects come and like they let loose, and and they're comfortable with us, and it's awesome.
Yeah, I love that. I love that, man, because a lot of other projects, they're held to a pretty high level of scrutiny, and there's a lot of opinions flying around. And again, it's just because they haven't had the opportunity to build those real relationships with each other within their communities, because they grew so fast and blew up so fast. So I think it's been a little bit painful in that sense to that we didn't get that success as quickly, but I wouldn't change anything that we've done at all. I think that the way that it's gone has been perfect for us. So yeah, absolutely, completely agree.
Neil did have a question about your name that's used in the community.
Yeah.
You want to ask a question about that?
Yeah. So there was kind of like this early on. There was this like lore that kind of got created. So you got a nickname early on. I think it was from Alex, but I'd love to hear the background. You kind of are a legend for something, right?
Yeah, I've heard this.
Yeah, you're known as the legendary embracer, right?
Yeah. These things are really, I never get involved in these things. I think they just thrusted upon me, and excuse the wording there. But
nice there.
That's amazing.
I think whiskey had a part to play in that nickname. I think we were in a space, and no, actually, yeah, Alex was talking about the first time that we met in person, and yeah, he or no, whiskey. How did it go down? He was like talking about how I never embrace him, and then when we first met, I was like, yeah, dude, no, I gave you the most legendary embrace you've ever experienced. Like, I remember you crying And like you called your mother and told her about it afterwards and shit like that. It was just pure bullshit. But yeah, I'll take that. I'll take that nickname. It's not the worst thing in the world. I think Alex gets a lot more naughty nicknames. Him and his horn. So yeah, I'll take the legendary embracer.
I think Dragon's scared of Alex's horn.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah, I
anymore.
don't know. I've never heard anyone say they're scared of Alex's horn. Yeah. He's gonna kill me.
Legendary
out.
embrace.
Yeah, legendary embracer. I do give legendary embraces. That's for sure.
I heard there
Wow.
was thrusting in the embrace.
There was, yeah, Alex sort of, stuck his ass out, and I just went all in. So. We can cut this, guys. We can cut.
No, this is perfect content, actually.
This is what it's about.
Yeah.
This is what
The
it's
visuals
about.
coming in are not
I'm
going
in
to
the
be good.
chaos
But
now.
Yeah.
I've been
Tom, you're a
exposed to
killer,
the
man.
chaos.
Yeah, you're awesome.
Thank you, man.
I was hooked. I remember the first time, as we start wrapping up, I think here pretty soon. One of the first times I heard you guys talk, it was Alex, but he talked about how he didn't want to see it mint out overnight, how he wanted to see people organically come to it, and he said it would actually be really. He actually was like really critical about it. He was like, if we mint it out right away, it was almost like he wouldn't know what to do. He'd be really overwhelmed by that. Like that would feel like a loss almost is how he came across.
Yeah. I think what he meant was like it was more people have unrealistic expectations in Web3. So I think we would know what to do because we have experience, but I think that the expectations of the community would and always are unrealistic is an understatement. So I think from our perspective, the way that we're going is absolutely fine because it allows us to do things properly and correctly. Otherwise, when you rush things, you're more prone to make detrimental mistakes. So I think it wasn't that we would be overwhelmed. We know exactly what to do, but it's more susceptible to being pulled down by the community because ultimately that's where the power is.
Well, and that's what I was going to say. Like that, from that moment, I knew I'd found something that I wanted to be a part of as a community member. Like that sentiment was so refreshing, honestly. That I was like, I found where I want to put my money, and like I have too many. It's a problem, but not for the villain's face. But that'll be my last comment there. But just really, dude, you're killing it.
Oh, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it, and I appreciate you. Your unhealthy addiction to Misfits as well, because it's really giving us what we need to do this thing. So thank you, man.
So one last question before we let you go. You guys have been at this for over a year. What have been some of your favorite moments so far?
Dude, it's like it's hard to say. I mean, look, I think when we launched Genesis and we had I think over 350 NFTs committed because we did like a Google Doc to see what the interest was. And when we launched, I think we sold like 90 or 100, and we were we were pretty gutted just because the expectation was there to mint out the first phase. But then once we started finding our people and finding our community, and we sold out that Genesis collection, I think that was one of my favorite moments because it gave me the reassurance that, okay, we're not going to be one of those that, are a success in a month or 2 months. We are going to be slow burning, but once we get there and find the people that we need and the people that we want to be involved, we can really make this thing into something special. So I think, selling out Genesis was one of my favorite moments. And obviously the testament is now having 2,468 NFTs in people's wallets. So I think going from selling 90 to 100 to selling over nearly 2,500 is such an accomplishment. So that to me was like, okay, you guys are on the right track, and you'll get there.
Dragon, do you have anything else that you want to throw out there? Any emojis for Tom? We found that we can launch emojis while we film now, so it's been a bit of a distraction.
Yeah, to be honest, I saw those popping up during some deep moments, and really trying not to laugh.
You should have. You should have. Next time, do.
This is the greatest thing ever. Like,
It's
because
like
people
Stripper
listening will
Neil.
just be like, well, this guy's going really deep, and then he just starts laughing. Like, what's wrong with him, man?
It's literally
think
every time that we
listening-
film.
I think if they listen to this podcast, they expect it though. Like that's
Yeah.
the
We're kind of
That's
shit
the vibe
show.
you guys are going for. I love it. I love what you
Yeah.
guys are doing as well. Like, yeah, it's awesome that you've all come together and done this, as a result of the Misfits or wider communities as well. So yeah, I love this, and keep it up, guys. I think the guest list will keep getting bigger and bigger, and you'll find your stride. Alex and I did a little podcast as well, or a little show on YouTube, Raw and Unfiltered, and the first 5 episodes weren't very good. Actually, none of the episodes were very good, but apparently they get better the more that you do. So definitely stick at it. And I loved the first episode with Chris. I thought that was awesome. So yeah, keep at it, guys.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about golden showers or anything while you're here? We can dive into those kind of conversations if you want.
Whiskey, I'm a child. I don't know what that is.
That's right. I'm sorry. See, this whole time I thought that you were like supporting me and helping me, but in the end, it's that you're the child and I'm taking care of you. I got it.
Dragon. Was there any last comments or questions that you wanted to add?
no, I think that's pretty much it.
Awesome,
Tom, you're a
guys.
killer, bro. Thanks for coming on, man.
Thank you so much, guys. I really enjoyed it. Definitely come on again. We'll get the big man on here as well on one of these days if you want him.
He'll get his turn. We wanted Tom first.
Yeah. Awesome. I love that. That'll piss him off a bit, I'm sure.
Good. We love it, but good.
Yeah, we love it. Love you guys. Thank you so much again. That was awesome.
Thank you for coming. And
Cheers,
I
guys.
guess I'll close it.
Yeah, go for it.
And that's it for episode 3. Thank you for listening. And say yes to love, no to drugs. And Tom, send nudes.